So Nigerian men has finished Etinosa, Nollywood actress, for coming out saying that marriage is not achievement. Having a baby is not achievement. Sometimes some of them, when they failed in their marriage, they will target that marriage is not achievement. But before then, I want us to watch this particular video and hear from the source before we continue this video.
Marriage is not an achievement. Having children is not an achievement. Woman would never call a shower for this life. That means she's not successful. The difference between successful actors and not successful actors, I feel like it's great. So hard work is part of it, but I can never say that hard work is all of it, because there are some people who act far more than me, who work far harder than me, but I might be more recognized than them, or I might be more successful than them. Like the Bible says, Paul plants, Apollos water it, and God brings the increase. It's not just hard work. Hard work alone is not enough. Just like love alone is not enough in marriage.
So, what's one thing you would teach your daughter that you feel if you had been taught, you would have done better?
I will teach her, number one, when the interview is getting too long, you walk away. Okay, what will I teach my daughter? Self-esteem. If I don't teach my daughter anything, I will teach her how to respect herself, how to value herself. Because a woman who respects herself can never be disrespected by anyone. And then another valuable lesson I'll teach her is marriage is not an achievement. Having children is not an achievement. She will do whatever she wants to do at her own time, at her own pace.
What's one advice you give to a girl child pursuing career in either entertainment or other walks of life?
I feel we women need to work twice as hard to get the recognition or applause of what a man will work half as hard for. So as a woman, you need to be on top of your game. You need to close your ears to people who say, "Oh, she didn't get it by merit. She went to sleep with somebody." Don't see, woman would never call a shower for this life. That means she's not successful. So block your ears to the noise. Stay grounded. Stay focused. Study people who have made it ahead of you. Do not envy. Be inspired. Do not be jealous. You're giving flowers to a woman. You see another woman or another man saying, "Hey, she did not get it by merit." So, but I've never heard any man posting his achievement. I've never heard anybody saying, "Oh, he slept with another man." And there are people sleeping with men.
So, what was that major turning point in your career?
It really positioned me in the industry in a very good way. And that's when my parents started to gravitate towards me and say, "Okay, this girl is not a failure." That's when they started showing their friends newspaper articles of me and stuff like that. So yes, I would say that's when it really happened for me.
So, what's next for Etiosa?
Oh, watch out for Destiny Swap. Rich Kid, Poor Kid on YouTube, Etinosa TV.
Is it Etinosa or Etiosa?
Etinosa. The N is silent, so it's Etinosa. Etinosa is God's power. Etin is power and Osa is.
So before we take one or two comments, subscribe button, and for my returning subscribers, you are highly welcome. So the first person says here, "Madam, everything you just said here is 100% achievement. Stop all this nonsense. Stop all this nonsense narrative, especially children. They are achievements in life. They are achievement in life. I agree with this man." The other person says, "I agree with you 100%. Please, what is an achievement?" He still asks her question. If marriage and the children are not achievement, what then is an achievement? The second person says, "Children is not achievement." This person still asks her questions. Still a man. The other one says, "At official, Etinosa, are you a shower or not?" A man is asking her this question. The other person says, "Person wey run leave marriage." The other one says, "Now your own reason be that." The other person says, "There are some good actors that are not well recognized in Nigeria." She's right. Is a woman. The other one says, "Marriage may not be achievement, but having kids is a big achievement." The other person says, "Marriage is not achievement. Having children is not achievement. What is an achievement to Nigerian?" The other person says, "Women with failed relationship or marriages are always so fast to discredit union. Or marriage is an achievement. Having someone to share life with should be the biggest achievement ever." I agree with you. The other person says, kids na achievement too. Just train them well, that's all." The other person says, "She's a very nice person." We're not talking about nice person here. The other person says, BBA an achievement, be good question. I love this. So, like I said before, I love this last person that says BBA is an achievement. Because if you are proud of BBL, why not be proud of having kids, getting married, settling down, making babies, and all of that? Some of them, like I said before, whenever they still see millions in their account, they will feel that men didn't worth settling down with. Without knowing that without a man in your mother's life, maybe without your man with your mom and all of that, there won't be you. Some of them don't even think to the extent, what if my mom or my father didn't have me as a child or something? Will I be able to start talking nonsense, disgracing themselves on social media? Because this is a big time disgrace. You wake up and start saying that marriage is not achievement, having children is not an achievement. If your mom evacuates you when you are still in the womb, will you be able to be talking all this nonsense here? Because you had a failed marriage doesn't mean that marriage is not an achievement. Do you know that there are ladies who already made the money, yet their life are not perfect and complete because no man in their life? They can't come outside and start crying to you saying, I need a man, I need a man. The achievement is yet to be complete because there is no man in their life. Here you are telling us that marriage is not an achievement. Come. Anyway, I don't blame you. Maybe you got married with the wrong person and you feel like every other man out there, they didn't want settling down with, especially having children, marriage aside. But you see, having children with or without you settling down with a man, you must make sure that you have a child as a young woman. If you fail to do that, you will cry at the end of the day. So sir, some certain things are not meant to be out here saying that marriage is not an achievement or children. At least stand one place, but it's well. Like I said before, when they fail in their marriage, they will target that men as scum. Marriage is not achievement. Having babies is not achievement. It's all lies. Marriage is an achievement if you don't know it today. Having kids is an achievement. Let's assume that your mommy decide not to have you as a child. Will you be able to come out and start ranting? When they start making money, they are entitled to their opinion, right?